seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Whoops.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of What's in the Box.
I'm your host, Death Metal Hero, and returning for another awesome episode is Mr. Robb Horan, publisher of Sirius Entertainment, and one of my favorite comic books ever, Poison Elves. What's going on, Robb? How you doing, man?
I am happy to be here because we are cranking up for book 3. I know we're here to open up book 2, and I'm glad the book 2s are out there, but we are moving ahead as fast as we can on these things.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for book 3. I'm really excited to open up book 2 because I was going through this one. For those that missed it, this was the first volume, and it is beautiful, and it collects all of the Mulehide press stuff, and it's fantastic. This one, volume 2, that I'm about to open up, starts up the Sanctuary storyline, and it also marks the first foray of Poison Elves in Sirius Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting, man. Oh man! And then this Joe Linsner cover, like, come on, that is such a beautiful cover. I stare at this thing every day. It's part of the reason why I have it back here. But
well,
yeah,
I keep my second print copy of that.
Yeah, second print.
There's a second print.
Yeah, well, they did. There's one with the Joe Linsner cover, and then there's the one that Drew did as well.
Correct. That's
That's the image that you're using on the campaign. It's of Luce holding the knife there.
That's right.
And if I remember correctly, you did an homage to that one on the Outlaw Comics Poison Elves #1, right? That Derek Robertson did.
It is correct that homage was done. I wouldn't say that I directed it, but I wasn't unhappy with it.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Robertson does great stuff.
They were beautiful covers. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed those books, man. I was hoping to see more of them because, I mean, you know, new Poison Elves, and if anybody was going to continue it, you know, somebody that actually knows it and, you know, worked with Drew hand in hand. I mean, you.
Luke, some people may think that I placed that comment with you. So thank you for talking about that. I have not actually gone out of my way during this campaign to go back to that. You know, we still have a few more books to go. It was a lot of work for me at the time. And, you know, David Hedgecock really was and remained a genuine Poison Elf supporter. And there's some wonderful material that came out of that era that I am confident we will be able to represent and maybe even do more with someday. But that could be a very volatile topic for some Poison Elves fans. So
I imagine so. I mean, because this Drew and Poison Elves in general, it's very precious to us. You know, I talked to, you know, since our last stream, I've actually come into contact with a few more Poison Elves fans. In particular, Omen Screaming Raven, dude that shows up in my chat. He actually sent me a signed Poison Elves book. It's the only one I have signed by Drew. And he had a duplicate of it, so he sent it to me. And
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to see you in Heroes Con next weekend.
Yes,
all
indeed.
Right, I'll fix that for you. We'll find you a good Drew autograph.
Yes, thank you. So just talking to him, it shows me how much this book meant to people, how much, you know, the work itself, and, you know, Drew, by extension, meant to people. You know, the starting notes, and I mean, collected in the death threats books, you know, we really got to know Drew, you know, via
sometimes
his
more than we
notes.
needed to, but absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he shared a lot about his life, you know, and this was long before people were, you know, everybody and their grandmother had a blog, you know, talking away about every little nuance of their life. You know, Drew really opened the window and let people see what was going on in his world, and it was cool, man. I remember
our view in the Sirius office was that not only was that true in the starting notes and the letters column, but if you really knew the inside dope on Drew's life, not just what was publicly available, you'd know that it's littered all over the book too. All right.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's all about Drew one way or another, whether it's an emotion, an action, an outcome, it's all Drew. I
have heard that from multiple sources, and you know, I can imagine certain things. I mean, the opening to the first issue from Sirius. You know, when Lucifer gets back from being, you know, out on the ship, you know, being a fisherman, and he comes back to his his apartment that is run down, full of like drunk and drugged out hippies and a girlfriend that's gotten them evicted. Like I imagine that there was a lot of Drew in that whole scene, and that reading that first issue again just reminded me of how much I fucking loved this book. And you know, the funny thing about this first issue is, I coming from like the old stuff in the Mule Skinner stuff, and then moving to this, it felt like he had a new lease on what he was doing with the book. Like a weight had been lifted off of his shoulders, and he could just focus on making the best damn book that he could, and it shows in this first issue. You know, and I attribute that to you guys, you know, you taking over the publishing and worrying about getting it in stores and all that, you know, business stuff. It allowed him to just do his thing. And
that was definitely what the plan was. Absolutely.
And Sanctuary is probably my favorite Poison Elf story. Like, I love the way it's constructed. I love the way it plays out. It just, the entirety of that story just plays out so naturally and fun and fluid and badass, and it's just it made me love the book even more, because, you know, I had the first 4 trades, and then I got the Sanctuary trade, and I was just like, whoa, you know. And then later on, I picked up the single issues through my local comic shop, and yeah, man, Sanctuary is my favorite story arc, so I am so fucking stoked.
And it is, you know, it's a real accomplishment. That is the big story arc that Drew got finished. And with what we're going into in book 3, you know, he talks about how, and when Sanctuary was over, I just wanted to have some fun and do short stories.
Yeah. I remember reading some of his starting notes where he was talking about that. And yeah, a lot of stories that are going to show up, I'm guessing in book 3, you know, they were just like kind of 1 and done, 2 episodes and done. You know, they were just, you know, informing the world. You know, Jace and Luce just running around Amerlin and having a blast. You know, just showing what was in the world, as opposed to just talking about little things here and there, actually showing. So it's exciting. It was a
big setup. You know, having a better understanding of what the long-term story arc is. He was still very much in a foundational stage. And, you know, what was going on with Lucifer's 11 was really just when we were about to take off. But
for those that don't know, unfortunately, Drew passed back in 2007. It was pneumonia, right? Due to sleep apnea.
Had a heart attack while suffering from pneumonia.
Yeah, and it was brought on by a sleep apnea, right?
Well, I mean, I can't make a direct cause and effect. It's not my place to. That's the report I got. He certainly had a history of sleep apnea and other respiratory issues. And, you know, his weight would go up and down. But all this is documented in the book.
Yeah.
He can speak for himself on that stuff. He always did.
Absolutely. He always did. Damn right he did. He was never one to shy away from talking about anything that he was thinking or feeling.
Making his presence known. There's nothing more fun than being at like a fancy San Diego Comic-Con like hotel restaurant and walking in with Drew and just being taken over the place. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. I would have loved to have gotten a chance to meet him. You know, he sounds like a hell of a dude, and just a genuine artist and comic nerd. You know, not in like the big two sense, but like love for the medium, love for the independent scene. You know, just everything that I've read of him writing and that I've read, you know, accounts of people meeting him. He seems like my kind of people. You know. But let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. Got my lovely lady jumping in, Skull Gorgeous. Thank you for being here. And she says, hello, Rob. And she's dropping the link to Book 3 Kickstarter and the link to the website.
The pre-launch page.
That's right. Uh, my intrepid co-host on Topic List, Mr. Jason Baskin. What's up, dude? He says you're not live. Hit go live. You wouldn't be able to see us if we weren't live. I see you, buddy. He's saying hi. He's on his phone. But yeah, so yeah, we will be at Heroes Con, and like I said backstage, we're going to be right down the aisle from you. Jason is going to be at Heroes Con as well. He's going to be all the way on the other side, though. So I'll have to bring him over so you can meet him. But yeah, man, I am stoked for this convention. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. We're in a much better spot this year than we were last year. We were
I haven't looked yet, but I'm counting on it. You know, last year's spot was just a dog, but
yeah,
they knew that and told me I'd do better next time.
I think you're in a good spot this time. You're not too far from my buddy Fraga as well, who will be there. I think you're going to be on a high traffic area, and I think that'll get some more eyeballs. Now you're going to be launching the campaign on the 15th. Mm-hmm. Are you going to have like a little thing for people to like scan with their phone so they can jump on the campaign at the convention?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have a QR code standing by.
Yes, awesome. Because I mean, if you watch any of the shows, I mean, you'll see me talking about this book, and I have people like asking me like where they can get them. I'm like, you gotta go look for them. We dropped the link to the website, for stuff there.
I feel like we have a duty. It's not like we printed enormous numbers of these things,
right?
And I have had. Like at Chicago Comic-Con at C2E2, I had a major independent retailer saying, like, dude, you need to get these to us. But I feel I have a responsibility to the backers who I have so far and the backers who I might get over the next 3 books. Yeah. That I make sure I have, the earlier books available for them. So they're only in the campaigns at this time.
That's awesome, man. That is, and see, ever since way back in the day, because I mean the video I did remembering Drew Hayes, back when he passed.
I pirated that years ago.
Excellent, dude. I appreciate how much love you have for the material, and I feel like it stems from the fact that you knew Drew. Drew was a friend of yours, obviously.
I'm going to make a confession today, Luke.
Yeah.
Right. For vast amounts of the period of time that I was working with Drew, we were very close. We talked all the time and everything else. And I certainly read every issue, but I read every issue very critically.
Yeah.
And even though we had a non-editing policy, it's not as if we didn't have, creative discussions about what he was doing, what the book looks like and everything else. And, more so his editor, Mark Bellis, who did the introduction to the book you're going to open. So it wasn't until years later, and in particular, when I started putting this project together and pulling some things out of the closet and stuff, I realized just how wonderful his comic art is. Yeah. He is a wonderful cartoonist and a great storyteller. He writes laugh out loud, engaging, emotional material, and he creates artwork that I want to look at. And as a comic reader my whole life, there's no question that the visceral look of a comic is the first thing that is going to tell me whether or not I'm interested. And
100%.
I find Drew's work at times to be incredibly fascinating and accomplished. And it evolved so much over the years too. And I never had the opportunity to really tell him any of those things because I was too busy telling him to do better.
Well, you were pushing him forward, man, because you cared, but I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right? We notice things later on that we may have overlooked earlier. But I feel like he knows, I'm sure he knows.
Oh, that's for sure.
What's up, Billy? Billy Basco says, I like Poison Elves, but personally, I'm more of a venomous troll kind of guy. Oh. There you go, buddy. Good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right. That reminds me of a dad joke that my older brother made to my kid after we played Ghost of Tsushima. You familiar with the game, right?
Yeah.
He's being a wise guy. He says, "Oh, what is that? Spirit of sushi?"
Jeez. I mean, ching. To be fair, it kind of sounds like it. But I never get to play video games anymore. I bought Elden Ring when it first came out for my PC. and I've played all of like 8 hours of it. I figure I'll get back to it at some point eventually.
I struggle to find a game that I like and will see all the way through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, usually I find the stories engaging most of the time. And sometimes the gameplay hook isn't there. And sometimes the gameplay hook is there, but the story is lacking. So,
my son's a competitive gamer, and he wins all kinds of stuff. But, he's got no respect for me because he knows I really don't have the patience to try and aim.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't really do first person shooters, mostly because I likewise
I don't do first person at all. Yeah, I can't stand them.
Yeah, no, give me a third person action adventure game, because I hate doing the first person thing and suddenly I'm getting hit from somewhere and I can't find, and I start spinning around and I lose all control of it and I can't find the person that's hitting me, and it's just bad.
Yeah, I just can't relate to that whole that thing.
Yeah, I thought maybe like with the VR, because a friend of mine had a VR headset, and I tried to play Half-Life Alyx, and it was really cool to look at. But as soon as I started trying to walk around like while sitting at a chair, my stomach's like, "Whoa, hold up, wait a minute, fuck you, I don't like this." And so my internal equilibrium's like, "Nah, we're good. Yeah, we're good." Billy says, Twilight Monk is only 15 hours, Luke. Perfect length so you don't have to get sucked in and take over your life. I did buy Twilight Monk. I have yet to play it yet, but I really am looking forward to it. Twilight Monk is a side-scrolling Metroidvania from Trent Kanuga and his Aquatic Moon Studios. Hand-drawn animation. It's a gorgeous-looking game, and it's right up my alley. I love those games, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Jason says, I like driving games. I'm a good driver. I bet you are, bud. All right. Now, what we've all been waiting for, or well, what I've been waiting for at least. I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera around. I don't know how you do it.
You got a lot of dedication for this show to be able to keep those boxes closed.
This one in particular has been very difficult. It's been a little easier this year because I've been on the road. I've been out of town at the beginning of this year, and then going to conventions and whatnot. But I really, really wanted the new Poison Elves shirt to bring with me to Heroes Con. So I really appreciate you agreeing to come do this show. Is my camera not going to work? What's happening? Oh, that's Photoshop. There we go. Wrong one. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and, whoops. No.
And so, folks at home, you can see that we've made sure he hasn't opened it before by placing the secure Poison Elves tape on top.
That's right. And as I did last time, I am going to do my best to save the Poison Elves tape. I still have the last strip that I got. We'll see if I can successfully do it again this time.
We had a lot of people talk about the wrapping paper on the.
Oh yeah, I still have that too.
Well,
the black tissue paper with the skulls all over it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Still have that as well.
This
is my package opening knife. All right. Yes. I figure eventually, by the time all of these books are out, I will have enough of this Poison Elves tape to like cover the cover of a notebook.
There you go. Maybe a garage wall.
Perhaps.
Wall art. Garage wall art.
Make a frame out of it. All right.
Look at that beautiful packaging. If I
see, everything is secure. Everything is nice and purty. Oh my God. I had forgotten what the shirt was.
Your box is upside down. I am very particular about how the stuff goes in the box.
Oh.
So you got to turn your box around. There you go. That's it.
I saw this. Oh my God. This is awesome. They're literally going. Feline is literally going to have to peel me out of this shirt. God, I love that picture.
Now, where did I run it? Somewhere on the first campaign, I pointed out the history that the actual original design that both of those are based on is from an earlier one of Drew's letters columns in I LUSIPHUR.
Really? Do you know what issue?
I do not know what issue, but I put it either on the digital deluxe. I'm pretty sure I put it on the digital deluxe. Oh no, it was at the end of the last campaign. I think I wrote it up. If you go back to the book 1 campaign, no, the book 2 campaign. If you go back to the book 2 campaign, I wrote a history of this cover that includes showing the image from the letters page that this came from.
Man, see, I have this cover as well. I have both of them, but I fucking love this image, man. It's so badass. That is such a cool shirt, and see, she knows me and my shirts. She's like, and another shirt, LOL. It shouldn't be a problem to peel. Yeah, probably.
We sort of considered that with the 3rd campaign, but we're going to keep doing the shirts because we want to do at least one cover image for each one. But I'm going to make a big announcement here that the shirt for campaign number 3, it's going to be white.
What?
We're going to do a white shirt. That's right.
Oh no.
Yep.
I'll still buy it. It'll be one of like maybe 3 white shirts that I own.
I understand. I understand.
Dear reader, we welcome the many new backers who joined us for book 2, and a huge thank you to everyone continuing with us on this journey to book 5. Mark your calendars and spread the word. Poison Elves book 3 is coming to Kickstarter in spring 2025. Starting on the 15th, everybody. Mark your calendars. There's a link in the description so you can sign up so you don't miss it. There's both tragedy and comedy ahead for Lucifer as the long out-of-print issues from PE 21 to 40 make their way to your high-end bookshelf collection in our next campaign. Oh, man, that image.
What do you make of that image?
I fucking love it. I know... Fuck, I know what it represents, and it's
for the sake
heartbreaking.
Of readers, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. And because, as I was saying, Sanctuary is my favorite Poison Elf story, and for good reason, because it's so well done. I love these little snippets of Drew art. Now, I don't know if I asked you this last time. Who came up with the Poison Elves logo? Was that Drew? Did Drew come up with that?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's such a fantastic logo. It's so unique and uniquely Poison Elves. I mean, it just speaks to the story and the world.
You know, the old one that appears on the hardcovers, the old English.
Yes.
That definitely has its indie, gritty Poison Elves look. But the one on the Sirius issues, that's like the corporate Poison Elves logo. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, it's the first logo that I got introduced. That's the one that I got introduced to. Parentaal. Fucking love it. That is so cool. It's a swag bag.
That's right, and they look really cool. We set them up behind us at the booth.
Yeah,
Parentaal heads with book sets in them for sale.
That's so cool. The same friend that gave me the Poison Elves books back there, he also gave me the Philbach Brothers Parentaal series.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, yeah,
right,
that was a fun series.
That tote bag was a real nail biter. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I had the books here in the warehouse before I had those tote bags, and I was dying to get them out the door, and people knew I had the books and everything. It's like, please give me my tote bags.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful tote bag, man, and it's nice and high quality too. I mean, to be able to hold that hefty book. All right.
Well, hey, it's two-sided, buddy.
What? Oh yeah. So and these are screen printed, aren't they?
Yeah, we want to see like Parentaals walking around the shows. See,
right? Oh, I will definitely be. I'll definitely be bringing this with me, and I'll have mine at the show. Because I've got Outlaw Comics Poison Elves books that I need you to sign for me.
All right.
All right. Make sure I got everything out of the bag here. Oh, there it is. There it is in all of its glory. All right, first, I want to take a look at. This is sketchbook notebook 2.
Notebook 2.
Let's see, where is it?
That was a great catharsis for me to get that one out.
I bet, man. I was just looking through notebook 1 the other day after I had emailed you, just because I keep it right up here as inspiration. So this was the sci-fi story that he was working on, that he was kind of noodling around with when he was starting to feel better.
That he was obsessed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And he never got any pages of that done, did he?
What are you talking about? You're holding it in your hands.
Oh my! All right, I don't even know where to start. just gonna leave that there for right now. We're gonna take a look at the main book while what we're here for, and then we'll take a look at the other. Oh yes. All right.
Look at that beauty, still in the shrink wrap.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Of course, I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to get the second one on the table behind me along with the first one, or maybe I'll just have to swap them out, and the first one will have to go on the shelf. And it'll be on display until the next volume gets here. Rob, these books are beautiful, man. Just look at the spot gloss, everybody. Look at that. I love the soft touch matte feel. I probably said this the last time.
And that's literally what it's called. You know?
It feels so good in the hand to hold. And which makes it a lot easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
Even spot gloss on the inside. Yeah, these books are absolutely gorgeous. Highly, highly recommend everybody jump in on this next campaign. You can hit the link that Feline just posted there. Check out the website, and there's a link in the description for the sign up for the campaign. Got this vellum page in there with the Sanctuary logo. I would like that. Would be cool on a shirt as well. Just this in the center of a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's the intro by Mark Bellis. I don't like comics. I like Poison Elves. Hell yeah. I remember hearing that from a lot of people. A lot of people that didn't really dig comics because it's cape shit. It's superheroes. I don't do superheroes.
That quote is actually from his sister.
Really?
Who had like zero respect for comics. So that was a genuine accomplishment.
Oh. This opening page with the prologue that Jace is writing.
That opening page with the prologue that Jace is writing is so critical and so important.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really get the full spectrum of what is all there until you get all the way up to close to issue 76, I think.
Yep. It's crazy because when I because I was getting the single issues through my local comic shop, and as I was going along, we got up to those issues, and the things that were happening, and that started pinging stuff that I remember reading in here, and I was like, oh shit, he set this up a long time ago.
Yeah,
that bastard. But yeah, I remember reading this and just being drawn in because it really just kind of sucks you into the world. And then these pages, Luce, coming back from being a longshoreman. And this little dude down here always cracked me up when I was younger. Just like the characters that he would draw, just people having a conversation. The world that he created was so full of life, and that wasn't something you always saw in indie books back then. Mm-hmm. Some indie books kind of took shortcuts. Drew never did. Well,
I don't know if I'd say never.
Well, I mean, at least on this issue. I mean, look at this. You guys, look at the detail here. I love this. And this, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know, all these drunken and drugged out hippies. Oh God. Hangover, huh? Headache? Want something to take care of it? Yeah, dude. Here you go, dude. Blam! Ah, so good. So fucking good. And this issue, I mean, this opening really just kind of sets
Luke,
the stage.
Remember, we're going to have some first-time readers. Don't be giving away all of our spoilers. Dude.
Nope. I did not.
You know, the fact that some of these stories have been out of print for 20 years, a lot of people are reading them for the first time.
Oh God, I can't wait to revisit this, especially Mr. Moto. That whole fucking scene. As I saw that part that you posted on the page with Mr. Moto, and I just fell out fucking laughing because that's one of those scenes that is just fucking hilarious, and it's Drew to a T. You know, it's this book to a T. So, all right, let me pop this up here so you guys can see it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the. So, not gonna lie, I mean you've seen how much I like bladed accoutrements.
Yeah.
I would love like an actual full size replica.
Yeah.
Of Luce's blade.
We looked at that sort of thing in the past. It's obviously prohibitive, but.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's obscenely expensive, but hot damn, it would be fucking cool.
As close as we got was the Zippo lighter.
Yeah. See, I need to get a Zippo lighter. I have a small collection of Zippos. I missed the lighter though. That's cool. So just a little bookmark. You know, just go ahead and stick that right up there. Oh yes, the enamel pin. Crow. You know, that was another thing that I really kind of thought was cool about Drew. I mean, he could you know, use, you know, the swears that we use in our day-to-day, but it added to the world that he came up with his own. One of my favorites is shit on a pixie. Like that, I say that in my regular life. You know, Feline can attest. She's heard me say it.
My favorite detail in Drew's world, I forget what issue it was, but it's in the I LUSIPHUR issues when Lucifer's walking up the stairs in the bar carrying the 6-pack of Dragon Ale. I really want to get official Dragon Ale made. That is like,
dude, I would totally buy a 6er of that. There is a what is a bourbon barrel aged stout called Dragon's Milk that is pretty good. You know, maybe look into that.
Yeah, you know, I've looked into it, and the problem is, you know, shipping alcohol to all you people.
Yes, well, I mean, especially like shipping alcohol across state lines.
Exactly.
Would they be upset if you sold it at a convention? I'm just, you know, asking for a friend.
I don't think I'd get the exposure I need.
Probably not. Probably not. I'd say, yo, what's up, Michael Rushbrook? Welcome. Good to see you, sir. This is a friend of mine that was asking where he could get Poison Elves books. Hit this link, and you can get all kinds of cool Poison Elves stuff. Jump in on this campaign, man. You'll be able to pick up book 1 and 2 with campaign 3. And these are the covers. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, this is another example of where Drew's art just like totally pops.
Yeah.
Every time we get these cards, it's like, oh my gosh, look how good that looks.
It's incredible, and done with the same soft touch cover. Man, see, I need to find I need to figure out a book to put these in because these are bigger than regular cards. These are oversized.
They are genuinely art cards more than collectibles.
Yeah, these are beautiful, and they the purple marauder. Nyar!
That's a Janine Johnston painting. That one.
This is the same person that did the original cover.
The poster, yep.
That's so cool. I did not realize that. That is awesome. What a zany fucking character. I mean, I remember the first time he popped up and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then he became a recurring character, and just you know, what an annoyance.
Profile of the Purple Marauder and how it relates to Lucifer and Drew and everything is like what? I don't even want to go.
I don't even want to know. Holy shit. What's up, Dr. Mass Retro Elixir? Good to see you, sir. Hail and welcome. Thank you
Hello,
for joining.
Doctor.
Michael says, nice presentation of the books. Yeah, man. These books are beautiful. Art looks fantastic. Drew was fantastic, man. Big influence on my line work. Just, I love the way he does black and white and the textures that he uses. And these covers, man, these cards are so fucking cool.
Now, Luke,
one.
you were talking about how Drew doesn't take shortcuts.
Yeah.
I want you to look at the last 4 covers you just went through.
The last 4?
Yeah, look at them all.
They're panels from inside the book.
No, they're not panels from inside the book, but you might say that cropping, was a time saver.
Hey, you got to get the book out on time. You got deadlines to meet.
It worked, but he had his tricks.
Well, I will say this. I do actually like the stark nature of the black bars on either side. It gives it a very unique and graphic look. It stands out. When I went to, God, I guess this was San Diego Comic-Con in 2007. I actually made my own Poison Elves shirt. I scanned in the back of I guess it was the cover of the Sanctuary trade with Luce and oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Cassie. I scanned in that cover and then I put the green logo up at the top. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I actually used like this kind of thing because it was a black shirt, so I just did like a strip going down. So yeah, I've always been a fan, So I mean, it may have been a shortcut, but it worked for me. See, even here, it still works. Man, you guys, if you have never read any Poison Elves, this one in particular is a great jumping on point. Sanctuary is a fantastic story to start with because it is the quintessential Poison Elf story.
And Drew actually designed it that way to be the place for people to get into Poison Elves.
I mean, because he was starting a brand new #1, and he was with a brand new publisher. So as you can see here, these issues are right here. So yeah, new publisher, new #1, and a great jumping on point. He actually, even in the starting note of this issue, he actually talks about how it's a place to you don't have to read the old stories in order to get into this, but it does add a lot to the world. So highly recommend, if you can find these, go get them, grab them, pick them up, because they are becoming increasingly harder to find. If you're going to be at Heroes Con, swing by the Poison Elves booth and or the Sirius Entertainment booth and go talk to Rob.
It's the same thing, and we'll sell you a book where you don't have to go out and get all those comics. That's annoying. We'll just sell you one book with the whole thing in it.
See? And look how pretty. Look how pretty with the spot gloss and everything. Now you won't be able to get this awesome badass shirt that I've got. I'm just saying.
That's true.
But that's okay. That's okay. There will be another shirt on the next campaign, and apparently it's going to be white, according to Rob.
That's
all right.
True.
Let's take a gander at this book here. Not going to look far into it, but we're gonna take a little sneak peek here. Man, that is cool.
Yeah, you got to look closely at that one. You see the bad guy there?
Yeah.
Hiding in the shadow.
Right back here?
Yep.
Yeah. The top hat dude.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of stuff going on in the background back there. Now, who colored this?
That's all Drew. That's all Drew.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I've never seen a color picture of her. I've only seen the black and white stuff.
Mm-hmm.
See, I love this stuff.
Isn't
seeing like
amazing?
The pencils.
Yeah.
It's inspiring is what it is. Just the level of detail Outlaw. Man, what a fucking cool book this would have been. I'm so glad that you put this into a notebook for us all to see.
Yeah, it needed to be seen. It was some of the best stuff he's ever done. We made a sticker out of that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. This is going to be the last that I'm gonna show of this book because I don't want to spoil it for those that are going to get
got
this.
My bug notebook right here. See?
Oh man. So how many is this all that he managed to get done? Like that's in this book?
Everything that is bug is in there, with the exception of a few scratchy things that wouldn't be worth it. Yep.
All right.
Oh well, wait, no. Let me correct myself. He wrote 2 chapters of a novel, and those are on the digital deluxe. The volume 2 digital deluxe has Drew's novel pages for bug.
That's awesome.
So yes, the complete bug experience is notebook number 2 plus the USB digital deluxe for book 2.
Excellent. Now that's not the PDF that I got of book 2. That's a different thing. The digital deluxe,
the one that comes on the flash drive.
Aha.
The one on the wooden flash drive.
I got you. Okay. Now, you're going to have those at the convention?
I am.
Excellent.
I am very proud of the digital deluxe series, and I think it's a great introduction for people at a great value, and for collectors. I mean, I wish I could make these things 500 pages with color, but I can't. Right. But I will give you all the material on these deluxe editions. That's what really gives you the complete experience with this stuff.
All right, so you heard him, guys. If you're looking to get the complete experience, and the digital deluxe has it all, including all of the bug story, which Drew unfortunately never got to finish. But at least we've got what he did get done, and Robb has graciously collected it for us all. Man, I love this bag.
And my backers graciously made it possible for me to get it done.
Well, we appreciate it, man. It is so awesome to see this stuff being brought back and being made available, not just to those of us that love this book, but for new people to check out, man. I've been talking about this book, for years, a couple decades now. And, it's always interesting for people that have never heard of it to introduce them to and like show them pictures of them. They're like, oh, wow. Just the black and white line work. Let's say that 3 times fast. It always just kind of surprises people because, they think of indie comics and they don't think of as high quality as this stuff is, Well said.
Yeah,
I mean, you've been around, you've seen a bunch of indie comics, you know what I'm
quality indies. I know.
I the other day I came across some Primal Rage books that you guys did back in the day. Those were cool, man. Those covers were beautiful.
Look, not only were they cool, but who would have thought that they would turn out to be possibly the most collectible books that I published? Because especially there's 4 issues, right? And issues 2, 3, and 4, it is impossible to find them. Absolutely impossible. And those Atari collectors, they want them.
Oh yeah. I mean, that game was super popular back in the day. And then it just kind of fizzled out and disappeared. Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun with that one, but I got made a lot of fun for doing that book, but I feel pretty justified. Oh yeah. My partner in particular was like, what are we doing? He didn't get it. But it wasn't quite as bad as Supermodels in a Rainforest, which I also stand by.
Damn right. It's funny because fighting game comics were like, they were super popular back then, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I mean, the Primal Rage books were a hell of a lot better than the majority of the Mortal Kombat comics that came out back then.
I think we did the best that we could with it. We tried. We were sincere about it. And in the end, the licensing company and the people who held Primal Rage, they
Yeah.
ended up lifting all the ideas out of the comic and putting them into a novel that, you know, they had every right to do
Really?
it. But that stuff came from us. Yeah.
That's awesome. You had an influence on the mythos of
Yep.
of the story. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Let's
Yeah.
see. What's up, good stuff? Good to see you, man. Welcome.
Chris, what was his name? Chris Knowles. Chris Knowles. I got to give Chris Knowles credit for what he did on Primal Rage. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who did what on the book, but I just remember those covers were fantastic, and
Oh,
the
they were all by
interiors
the-
were really
They were by
fun too.
Dark One. They were all Dark One covers. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Same dude that did Animal Mystic.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. They were a perfect fit for the story.
Well, you know,
man, that shirt is beautiful.
As a guy who was specializing in publishing creators who did everything themselves, books like Primal Rage was where I got to have a little fun and put together a comic that wasn't necessarily creator driven, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was because licensed, and you didn't do a whole lot of licensed stuff back then. It was mostly just creator owned stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, this shirt is beautiful. The book is beautiful. I am so excited. So what can we expect from book 3?
All right. Well, the first thing I'll mention is what you can't expect. You cannot expect Drew Hayes notebook number 3. I do not have a notebook number 3, so you can save your 35 on that one, and look around at some of the other add-ons that.
I was about to say, just means I'll have to spend the $35 on something else on the campaign.
Right.
Clearly,
we were able to lower the price of the limited edition. So everyone who's hearing the sound of my voice that plans on going on the campaign, we lowered the price of the limited editions, and I expect them to go quickly. All right. Just keep that in mind. You can't see any of this stuff yet, not until it launches.
yeah. Well, I just
but
wanted
there
to
it
show people.
Yep. Oh,
Yep.
thank you. Yeah.
See, yeah. You can see
Let's
the
see
cover.
what else. So I don't have a notebook, but I do have the Poison Elves 80s that I had on book 2 were very popular, and a lot of them were bought. So I don't have a lot of them left. I'm raising the price so that we all are getting our equity in those books. But I have added other low price point add-ons of items that, look, there is literally nothing from 30 years ago that I have a lot of. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So this campaign in particular has a bunch of things in pretty low quantities that this is it. When they're gone, they're gone.
Right. Grab them while you can.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping that I'll come across some more of the original I LUSIPHUR books. I've got number 2, and I've discovered that it was a first printing of number 2. Yeah. Because the last time we talked about that, I went and looked, and yeah, it's a first printing. I would fucking love to find I LUSIPHUR number 1.
It's
very much doubt.
Books.
Right.
Those books, you can usually find one on eBay, but they're not cheap.
No, they're not. Speaking of hard to find, I've been looking for one of those statues, the LUSIPHUR statues, for decades. Screaming Raven actually messaged me a link to a place in the fucking Bronx of all places that had one for like $100, and I was like, dude, I will pay you PayPal. Will you ship it to Florida? He's like, no, sorry, pickup only. I'm like, no.
It's like the Holy Grail for Poison Elves collectibles. I have one in a closet, in a display right over here next to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get this exactly right, but Poison Elves community and their fixation for the statue. My collaborator Michael, he has a Poison Elves statue story from the last year that similar to yourself, except that he won a friend of his. He knew his Poison Elves connection, and he calls him up. He says, hey, I'm in this place, and they got this statue. It looks like your Poison Elves thing. And Michael snatched it, and from what I understand, he got a great price on it.
I will have one of those eventually.
Well, you speak up, because when Campaign 3 launches, you'll see that I actually wrote about the statue. So once again, you're anticipating what I'm up to, which is kind of
I'm in the same headspace, man. You know, I'm right there with you. I love it. And yes, Feline did try. She's got a friend that lives in New York and tried to see if he would swing over there and pick it up, but haven't heard back. So
I tell you, there's 1,000 of those things out there, and they're just gone. You cannot find them anywhere.
Well, I mean, and what year did you guys do those statues?
2001.
2001. Okay, we're in 2025, so that's 24 years ago.
Yep.
It's hard to find anything from 10 years ago, let alone 24 years ago. So it's completely understandable. But I will find one of these days. I will find one, and it will be mine, and it will be proudly displayed behind me. Oh yeah, beautiful sculpt. Who did the sculpt on that? Do you remember?
Well, I wrote it in the campaign 3. It's a Japanese guy. I'm not going to try and say his name without it in front of me.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
But we were working with some friends of mine at a company called Future Models, and Yoichi Sekaguchi was the proprietor, and he did some wonderful stuff together with us, and the work that they were doing was just amazing. We were very, very fortunate that they did that statue with us.
It's a beautiful statue. It really is.
But more importantly, he bought me tickets to see Nami Amuro, who's my favorite Japanese pop star. So,
wow, that's even cooler. You know, there's a lot of Japanese metal bands that I like. The Japanese really love their heavy metal and death metal, which I fucking love. You know, because there's quite a few of them that are just fucking fantastic.
Yeah, well, I top off at the commercial side. I've seen Baby Metal several times now.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, Baby Metal is probably the most popular one right now, and that band behind those cute little Japanese girls is fucking joke. They are badass. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great music. But yeah, guys, go ahead and hit that link in the description. Jump over here and click Notify Me on launch so that you don't miss out on this campaign. As you can see, this is the image.
This is pretty interesting because, I'm 3 years in and I'm still learning a little bit more about Kickstarter as I go, and they keep changing things.
Sure.
But this is the first time we actually managed to get a pre-launch page up.
Oh, okay.
Working in Kickstarter without a lot of tutoring, you get to these certain points where they're giving you warnings, like when you hit that button, the whole world's going to explode and your life's going to change and so on and so forth.
Right.
So we never got a pre-launch page up before. And it's very exciting for us to see that in 24 hours, we got 170 people that are following us from the pre-launch. So that looks to be a good sign, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you were I don't know if you said this while we were live, but you were telling me backstage that you had a bunch of new people pick up the book too, and you sent out a lot of book 1 along with.
Yep.
That's exciting.
It is, and I'm hoping I'll see that again.
I'm hoping that it's a bunch of new people discovering Poison Elves for the first time and just being hooked.
Well, wait, I'd like to describe another part of our audience. And that is the longtime Poison Elves fan who really doesn't care about Kickstarter, who really wasn't paying attention at all. But then somewhere in the periphery of their lives, they became aware there's this Poison Elves thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had a number of first-time backers who got onto Kickstarter just for Poison Elves.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I want you folks to know you are my favorite backers. I respect and understand. I didn't get onto Kickstarter until Poison Elves made me either. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's understandable. When I was working in my LCS, we would have customers that came in, and they would, the customers that have been buying books from the comic shop and through Diamond basically for 30 years. They come in with their handwritten lists or their typed out lists, and this is the stuff that they want for the next month. And those type of folks don't. They don't pay attention to what's online. They're not looking at a crowdfunding campaign. Mm-hmm. They want to be able to just go into the comic shop and buy it. So for them to actually take the time to sign up for a website and then back a campaign, that's huge. That's a testament to how much they love this book, man.
Yeah. So and I have both empathy and respect, because I got to figure some of those people are like, oh my gosh, there's 2 of these things already and I can't get them any other way.
Yep. I did see one on Amazon. I don't know if somebody was selling theirs or something like that.
The one on Amazon is very expensive by comparison.
Yes, it is. It is, and you don't get all the extra goodies.
No, you don't.
Like what I have here. I'm going to show all this stuff again. There's the shirt, which I will be sporting at Heroes Con this year, and probably quite a few days outside of Heroes Con as well. And then the book, these cards. These cards are just amazing, man. Now, do they make like binder sleeves for cards these size? Do you know?
We made that size up ourselves.
Really?
And of course, in the first set, the I LUSIPHUR issues were also a different size. Remember?
Yes, they were.
Okay,
because you had to shrink them down from the magazine size.
Right. We already have two different sizes, but Michael and I have spoken a couple of times about looking forward to maybe on book 5. We'll come up with some kind of something to collect them in.
That would be awesome to have a binder to put all these in.
I was thinking more along the lines of a wooden box.
That works too. With the logo engraved on the front of it.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
But, I don't. I'm not going to try and look for binder sleeves to fit those things.
Oh, I'm sure you'd have to have them custom made.
So you just keep them in their little sleeve. You put it in a nice box and you pull them in and out.
Oh man, I really love the way these covers turned out. I know I said this on the last unboxing, but man, I love the way these turned out. It's just the colors really pop, you know, and they feel really good to hold as well.
Yeah.
This is super exciting. So, 5 books. So we're a little over halfway now with book. Well, I guess
we're approaching. You know, when we launch, you might call the launch the halfway point.
Yeah.
At 2.5, right?
Yes.
And then we'll be past halfway once I ship book 3.
Man. Now, once you get once you get all 5 books out, will there be plans to maybe collect all of the miniseries, like the Hyena miniseries, the Lucifer and Lilith, the PARENTAL series? Any plans for that down the road, do you think?
Maybe.
Okay, good. Because I mean, those I know that Drew didn't draw those, but I know that he had to approve them, so they are canon.
Right. So I'm forced to differentiate. Okay. We did a number of spin-offs.
Yes.
But there was 2 of them that Drew wrote. Okay. The first 2 spin-offs we did were totally official Drew Hayes Poison Elves, where he happened to not be the artist.
Right.
Lucifer and LIIIVVVEEE was the first one.
Yep.
And if I haven't mentioned this before, Drew laid out that whole series. Okay.
Really?
Yes. Not only did he lay it out,
okay,
but there was a controversy over how it was going to end. Okay. So in fact, I got layouts for 5 books because he did 2 versions of issue 4.
Oh.
All right. But that story is something I wouldn't really want to tell unless I was giving Lucifer and LIIIVVVEEE its own special treatment.
Right.
So, I am still a great admirer of Jason Sean Alexander, and I'm looking forward to looking him up and seeing if he'd like to have some fun with getting his work reprinted, but that's not where we are right now yet.
Right.
Yeah, but I got 5 pages worth of layouts to go with it.
That's fantastic, because I remember really enjoying that series as well. It's change of pace artistic wise from Drew, but I mean Jason does great work.
So to answer your question, I would be most inclined, following the Drew's original series, to do something with PARENTAL and Lucifer and LIIIVVVEEE, because those are his books.
Right.
And the other stuff, look, if people want to keep supporting Poison Elves, I will do my best to give them Poison Elves.
That's fantastic to hear, man. I love it. I can't wait to go through this notebook. Like, I am super stoked to go through that notebook. I'm not going to do it on camera because you guys need to figure out a way to get one yourself. I'm not going to spoil nothing for nobody. You guys need to go grab this and hit this link. Go get yourself some Poison Elves merch. Sign up for the Kickstarter campaign, which is launching in 4 days.
Is it? No, today's Monday, isn't it? Tuesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
today's Monday. It's the 9th.
Sunday, 6 days.
Sunday. 6 days. That's right. 6 days.
While we've been speaking here, you know, hardcore Poison Elves fans may know who my friend Crystal is. And Crystal was reaching out to me while we were doing this to let me know that in the email we sent, we may have said Saturday, June 15th. So everybody, it's on Sunday. If you show up on Saturday, you're just early, but it's on Sunday the 15th.
Sunday the 15th. Yes.
Yep.
That's what I was telling people in my posts on X. That the campaign starts on the 15th, so make sure that you're signed up. This is, I mean, as always, man, this is exciting. I can't wait for book 3. It has been an absolute joy to revisit Lucifer and the world of Amerlin. This book in particular with Sanctuary, and this is all of Sanctuary, isn't it? This is,
I didn't want to have to disappoint you, Luke, but no, it's not. Look at the cover to book 3 and remember
yes,
that we're only doing 20 issues per book. So Sanctuary finishes, the last 5 issues are in book 3.
It's, twist my arm. Oh no, I've got to get book 3.
Exactly.
Which I was going to do anyway.
when we did the trade paperback series, we did break them up according to Drew's story arcs. I really felt that going into these hardcovers, I wanted to take the Masterworks approach and just say, boom, 20 issues per, wherever it lands.
Right. Let's see, gotta grab my my volumes. Yeah, I have to be careful with these because I've read them so often that they're literally falling apart. I can get the tape off of here. Yeah, I'm really glad that I was able to grab the first 4 from you at the last Heroes Con, because my first 4 volumes, especially volume 1, is the pages are literally starting to fall out. But yeah, so this image right here, this is what I use to make my shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, my computer printed out iron-on picture that I did, and I had that shirt for a long time until it just disintegrated. But yeah, these original trades. Now these original trades are very difficult to find now, aren't they?
Yes and no. Flip the number 5 over again. The other one. Flip that one. Wow, I forgot that's a first print of that one. I forgot we had that back cover. So that one itself is pretty rare. As a first print.
That makes me very happy.
5s and 6s. There's more 5s and 6s in the marketplace than there are mule hides or 7s.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, I remember when this one came out, and I was just super fucking excited. It blew me away because I didn't have any of the single issues from back then. This was my first introduction to all of the stuff that you guys were doing with Sirius.
Awesome, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, man. This image, this book. I mean, it just, yeah. As you can see, it has been well loved. But well, guys, we've been going for about an hour here. Is there anything else you want to say about Volume 3 or Book 3 that's coming out?
Me? Yes. Me?
Yes, you.
Just it's a great book. These issues have been out of print for over 20 years.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited to read them again myself. It's going to look beautiful again. I'm probably going to be able to ship them faster than I did on the last one, knock on wood. Especially without a notebook number 3, that'll tighten things up for me.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm having a great time doing this. I'm really grateful for everyone making it possible. I'm going to be at Heroes Con. I'm going to be in Baltimore. I don't know how much more conventioning I'll have in me after that. We'll see.
Right.
But it's all very exciting and a wonderful gift at this time in all of our lives to be able to enjoy these books again.
Absolutely. So guys, go hit that link in the description. Go check out drewhayespoisonelves.com for merch and other stuff, and keep tabs. You can follow the links for all of Robb's stuff is in the description of this video as well. So make sure that you're following along so you don't miss anything. And go get yourself a copy of this, however you can, which means signing up for the campaign and getting yourself book 3 when it comes out. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. Robb, always a pleasure talking with you, man. And like Feline says, look forward to seeing you again at Heroes Con, man.
I'll see you next week, Luke.
That's right, man. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next time.
Cheers.
Later.
It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?